Mrs. Prince, is it true that CISD is buying a new curriculum? Why are we buying a new curriculum, Mrs. Prince?
Mrs. Teach, don't you know that our poor curriculum directors are overworked? Frankly, we do not have a comprehensive district curriculum in place.
But Mrs. Prince, how have we been getting away with not having a comprehensive district curriculum in place all the years before CSCOPE?
I don't know, we just did, but now we need a guaranteed and viable curriculum.
So CSCOPE is guaranteed? Does that mean we get our money back if it doesn't work?
No, Mrs. Teach, of course not. It is up to the teacher to make it work. If it doesn't work, you are guaranteed to lose your job. Silly teacher.
Will CSCOPE create more work for me, Mrs. Prince?
Well, the first few years may be difficult as you will have to copy everything you plan to use and send home with students on the photocopy machine.
But what about materials, Mrs. Prince? Will I have to gather the materials?
Of course you will, Mrs. Teach. We don't have money in the budget to buy all your materials. When you get through copying everything, just run by Walmart on your way home.
Is CSCOPE user-friendly?
Absolutely. Just look at the YAG, the VAD, you know all the crud that goes with it. You'll do fine. It will prepare your students for the 21st century.
I've heard that CSCOPE provides rigor. What is rigor?
Mrs. Teach, it is harder stuff. You should know that. It won't tell you what to teach, just when you should teach what it won't tell you to teach.
But what if my students don't know the material by the time it moves on to the next concept?
Well, then you should differentiate.
I should keep teaching one concept to 2 students that can't quite get it, keep going with the 4 that did get it, and teach for 1 more day with the 15 that sort of got it.
You must teach with cooperative learning so that the 2 students have shared values with the 15 that sort of got it.
What if I think the material has wrong information or errors? Should I correct it?
Of course, you can do that after you swing by Walmart. The expert writers at CSCOPE have already been paid. It is your job to finish writing it. It's a living document.
Will CSCOPE prepare students for the STAR test?
Oh, that mean old test that the mean old state requires our poor little district to pass? Of course it will.
But what if they don't pass, Mrs. Prince?
Then we will pay more educational consultants to diagnose the problem and see what exactly you are doing wrong, Mrs. Teach.
What do I do if the network is slow or not working, Mrs. Prince?
I guess you will just have to wait your turn. There will be many teachers on the net trying to prepare. Maybe you should just go to Walmart first, then come back when it's free.
What do I do if my students get on bad websites while I'm trying to facilitate their learning?
You will have to make learning so fun for them that they will want to learn what you're teaching instead of playing games or going to porn sites on their phones.
Will CSCOPE tell me how to do that?
Yes, of course, it's 21st century learning. Social constructivism, come on now, get cracking, Mrs. Teach.